good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to the Virtual Airline Pilot channel. My name's Lee, your Virtual Airline Pilot, back with you again with the second of this week's reviews. Where are we? We're on the west coast of the United States, and this is Portland International Airport in Portland in Oregon in the USA, Kilo Papa Delta X-Ray. This is a payware scenery by iBLUEYONDER, and dealt with, I think it's a collaboration with FLIGHTBEAM as well, but it's listed as iBLUEYONDER's product, and you're looking at version 2.0.1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. There's also a 2024 version available when you purchase this. The download comes in at 1.3 gig and it installs at 3.67 gig. Currently it's available from the Contrail Shop and Simmarket. Contrail seems to have the best price at the moment, that is €22.50, which equates to $24.27 US, or £18.80 UK. The US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which may of course vary depending on your country of purchase. For those of you who are interested or own version 1, currently there's a sale on at the Contrail Shop. If you own version 1 of this scenery, there's an upgrade offer, 50% off until the 21st of May 2025. So this looks to be quite an impressive scenery, and there's a lot of detail here. So let's move on to features. Okay, features. We have a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it will look at the end of 2025. There's a new terminal building, the new B concourse and the new E concourse extension. The terminal and concourses have full interiors. There's many new buildings and garages, completely reworked ground textures, expanded taxiways iron network, 4 new custom jetways complete with branding, and animated features such as flags and Tri-Metmax light rail train, which we will have a look at some point. Also note this scenery includes a custom GSX profile for users of that software, and basically you install it via the Contrail app. Okay, I'm starting to look at different liveries and aircraft repaints as well that might be found at these airports. So let's have a look at a Frontier Airlines FENIX Airbus A320. We'll get down to the stand and we'll have a look at that now. Okay, so a quick look at this repaint of the FENIX Airbus A320 CFM engine variant with the winglets, as you can see. This is a repaint by JVIATION, that's JVIATION. It's available on FLIGHTSIM.TO for any of you that want it, and this is a really nice repaint. So we'll have a close look for you. As you can see, the detail is really good. He's got all the bits and pieces. We've also got weathering on the aircraft as well. And once again, the repaint is lovely, particularly this here. There's a lovely job has been done here, and plenty of attention to detail, and as you can see, it's even on the winglets. A quick look at the other side. As you can see, it's fine. It's a lovely little job here, really good repaint. The details on the wings are pretty good as well. So here we are inside the cabin. As you can see, the cabin detail is really good too. You've got the emergency signs are here, the placards that you would use. The detail's really good here. Again, the TV screen, and even look, we've even got the no smoking signs. I mean, the details are really nice here. And there we are looking at the L1 door, which is in the closed position. And this is the R1 door on the other side, and again you can see some of the catering here, and we've got Frontier Airlines marking it as well. Okay, just a quick look down the cabin. You can see this is all sort of economy class. There's no business or first class. But the seating all looks pretty good. And then looking to the rear of the aircraft, you've got exit signs that are lit here, and you've got the galley at the back. There's the 2 overwing exits on the port side, and again on the starboard side. So there you go, a really nice detailed repaint of the Airbus, the FENIX Airbus A320 CFM version with the winglets, or the SL I believe they call them. This is a repaint by JVIATION, and again I'll put the link in the description below should you wish to avail yourself of this really nice repaint. So let's look at some history. Okay, history for you. Portland International Airport, Kilo Papa Delta X-Ray, is a joint civil-military international airport owned and operated by the Port of Portland. It is the largest airport in the US state of Oregon, accounting for 90% of the state's passenger air travel and more than 95% of its air cargo. It is within Portland city limits, just south of the Columbia River, in Multnomah County, 6 miles or 10 kilometers northeast of downtown Portland. The airport is often referred to by its IATA code, simply PDX. Portland International Airport has direct flights to cities throughout the United States and in several other countries including Canada, Mexico, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands and Iceland. The airport is a hub for Alaska Airlines, and it also has a maintenance facility for Alaska Air's subsidiary, Horizon Air. General aviation services are provided at PDX by Atlantic Aviation. By 1935, it was apparent to the Port of Portland that the airport was becoming obsolete. The small airfield couldn't easily be expanded, nor could it accommodate the larger aircraft and passenger loads expected to come to Portland. So plans were immediately conceived to relocate the outdated airfield to a larger site. The Swan Island area is now used by the Port of Portland as an industrial park. The Portland City Council purchased the present PDX site in 1936. It was 700 acres or 280 hectares, bordered by the Columbia River in the north and the Columbia Slough in the south. The Works Progress Administration, or WPA, and the Port of Portland faced difficulties in preparing the new chosen site for construction because the low-lying area was frequently covered by floodwaters from the Columbia River. Workers covered the area with over 4 million cubic yards, or 3.1 million cubic meters, of sand to help drain it of water, and constructed a series of dikes to control flooding. In 1948, however, the entire airport grounds were flooded during a Vanport flood, forced scheduling airline service to reroute to the nearby Troutdale Airport. The grounds are underwater for several months. Portland's airport's first jet arrivals were Pan Am Boeing 707s in around about October 1959, with a new terminal opening that same year, which for the most part still serves as the present facility. The new terminal is located to the east of the original runways and the north of the then new 8,800 foot or 2,700 meter runway. Construction of a second east-west runway to the north made this a midfield terminal. At this point, all but the northeast-southwest 321 runway in the original X design were abandoned and turned into taxiways. Runway 321 was extended for use as a crosswind runway. An international word was added to the airport's official designation after the 1950s era improvements. United Airlines was the dominant carrier at Portland through the 1980s. Air Oregon started a short-haul service from Portland following deregulation in 1978, and by 1979 the airport had routes to 7 other cities in Oregon. In April 1983, United Airlines began a flight from Chicago to Tokyo's Narita Airport that stopped in Seattle-Tacoma 6 days a week and in Portland once a week. The company operated the service with the Boeing 747 heavy jet aircraft. In the latter half of 2016, Port of Portland and several airlines at PDX approved a project intended to balance the use of the terminal and concourses at Portland International Airport. The subsequent project extended Concourse E by 750 feet, or 230 meters, and added 6 new gates to the facility. After the project, Southwest Airlines relocated its operation from Concourse C to the newly expanded Concourse E alongside United Airlines. In March 2020, the main terminal began a 5-year expansion process to generate more open space in the pre-security area and the expansion of 150 feet towards the west. Construction of Phase 1 of the main new terminal was expected to be complete by May 2024. As of September 24, total construction is expected to wrap up in early 2026. Jet fuel is supplied via the Portland Jet Line, an 8-inch or 200mm Kinder Morgan fuel pipeline running from the northwest industrial area of Portland's Willbridge terminal to the airport. Willbridge contains 40 tanks connected to the 14 inches or 360mm Olympic pipeline and 8 inches or 200mm Eugene pipeline, the BNSF rail truck and the ships. So there you are, some history for you, quite a bit to take on over the years. New terminals, one of the few airports around the world fuel fed from areas off the airport. So now let's look at these runways in close detail. Okay, runways. So Portland International Airport operates 3 main runways. Runway 28 left 10 right is the longest, measuring 11,000 feet or 3,353 meters, and is made from concrete. Next comes runway 28 right 10 left, measuring 9,825 feet or 2,995 meters. Finally, the cross runway 2103 comes in at 6,000 feet or 1,829 meters. The last 2 runways were made from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 31 feet or 9.5 meters and sits within the GMT UTC -8 hours time zone. Now, like much of the United States, the state of Oregon does indeed observe daylight saving time, or DST, and both the UK and Oregon now having moved ahead 1 hour to the respective summer times, the airport remains 8 hours behind the UK. So first let's look at runway 28 left, the longest runway. We're looking down the throat of it now. And this runway features high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, medium intensity approach lighting system with runway alignment indicator lights, and precision approach path indicators on the left side. And here you can see we've got everything. We've got the sequence flashing lights on the approach system, high intensity lighting, the centerline lighting, and the PAPIs on the left. All looking pretty good. And the sharp-eyed amongst you can see the train there, look, moving on the track. It's 7:10 in the morning, by the way. I've lowered the lighting so we get a good look at these runways. So approach options for runway 28 left, you have a standard instrument landing system, then you have an RNAV GPS-X approach option, an RNAV RNPY and RNPZ approach options as well. So let's check out 28 right. Okay, so here we are looking down the throat of runway 28 right, which again features high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, the same medium intensity approach lighting system with runway alignment indicator lights, and this time PAPIs are on the right side. So once again they've got the runway absolutely correct here, PAPIs on the correct side, and there's the approach lighting system. So approaches for runway 28 right, again you have a standard instrument landing system. You also have a high instrument landing system, which is on a separate chart. You have an RNAV GPS-X approach option and an RNPY and RNPZ approach option. You also have the MIL visual approach for both 28 left and right. Okay, so let's look at the other end, 10 left. Okay, so here we are looking down the throat of 10 left, the other end. Once again, the high intensity runway lighting, the centerline lighting of course. Note also they've got an extended threshold here. And according to the charts, you have medium intensity approach lighting system with runway alignment indicator lights again. But here in the scenery, they've just got the short field approach lights. So probably that needs to be added to make it absolutely accurate, but it's not really a great issue. They've got PAPIs on the left side, again, which is correct as per the charts. Approach options for 10 left. Standard instrument landing system, once again an RNAV GPS-Y approach, an RNAV RNPZ approach, and you also have the Columbia visual approach for 10 left and 10 right. So that all looks okay apart from the approach lights, which need to be the Maslar type. So let's look at 10 right. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 10 right, and 10 right, and this one has the whole works. Again, we have high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting. In addition, we have touchdown zone lighting and approach lighting system with sequence flashing lights and precision approach path indicators on the right side. So all of this is correct, and you can just see the touchdown zone lighting there. Approach options, okay, this is a bit special. We have an instrument landing system, but it's certified for Cat 1, 2 and 3 low visibility options, which is why you have the light sequence lighting system and this approach lighting here. So low visibility, this is the place you want to land at. You also, as per the other runways, you also have RNAV GPS-Y and RNP-Z approach. In addition, you have a high TACAN approach option and the Columbia Visual, which applies to both 10 left and right. So everything's pretty much correct. They've only not quite got the approach lighting system correct for 10 left there, but really that's not a great issue, because you've got ILSs on all four runway options here. Okay, let's go have a look at runway 21 now. Okay, so here we are looking down the slope of runway 21, which has medium intensity runway lighting, runway end identifier lighting system and position approach path indicators on the right side. There's no full approach lighting as per the other RUNWAYS, and they've got everything correct except they're missing the two white flashing lights, the runway end identifier lighting system that should be on the end of the runway here. But apart from that, it's all okay. Approach options, you have a localizer DME approach option only. There's also an unspecified VORA approach option for the airport. Okay, there are no published approaches for runway 03. I should imagine 03 is a visual only, local rules apply as it were. But this is all correct apart from the missing runway end identifier lights, the two white lights that flash either side of the threshold. And lastly, all of the runways are grooved. So there you are, that was runways for you. Let's have a look at the jetways here now. Okay, jetway, so we spawned onto Charlie 10 stand, and here we are. You can see the aircraft is spawned onto the center line. There's no marking for the A320. You've got the 318 here, or 319, and another 318, what looks like a 30. It's hard to see because they're blurred. There's no marking for the A320, so since this is the 737 here, I'm assuming that this would be the marking spot, and it's almost there. Not quite, but it's almost there, but it's good enough. Okay, so let's try the jetway test. Okay, so the front end turns and the wheels turn as well, and we're moving out to the aircraft quite nicely. And there we go. It looks to be a reasonable connection, certainly from here. So let's get a close-up look. So there we are. That's a pretty good connection. It doesn't appear to be a gap at the bottom. It kind of looks as though the hood might have gone through, but this seems to be the case every time I check this out. When we go inside, it turns out they haven't. But this looks pretty good from this side. Now here's the view from the other side. Once again, looks to be a really good connection. And just quickly there, you can see we've got the visual docking guidance system is active and working at this airport. So if you guys have got the plugins, then you'll have that operating. So let's go inside the jetway doorway area now. Okay, so there we are. The doorway looks okay. It's come out and doesn't appear to have hit the side of the jetway at all. Once again, we have the jetway doors closed here. The fit at the bottom is pretty good. There's a little bit of a gap here where you have to be careful that you don't trip. But other than that, that looks perfectly okay. So there you can see the door has come out and it's quite flush with the side. No real problem there. And there we are looking at the other side. Once again, it looks to be a pretty good fit. So let's look out from inside the cabin. So there's the view of the doorway looking out from inside the cabin. And once again, as I've said in previous videos, developers, if you're doing animated jetways, custom jetways, can we please have these doors open when a jetway is connected and closed when it's not connected, which would help for the people who use GSX and want to video the passengers going out. There is a GSX profile available from this aircraft and airport. So that's fine. Once again, I'll put the link in the description below for you. Okay, quick look inside the cabin. As you can see, the hood actually has gone through the skin here, which is a pity because the rest of the connection was pretty good, to be honest. And here we are in the flight deck, and again you can see the hood has gone through this side, which is a pity because the Jetway is pretty good. The connection's quite good as well, and it's all visually pretty stunning. But unfortunately, the hood has gone through inside. But no matter. I mean, I've seen a lot worse, to be honest. It's perfectly okay. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, the Jetway looks pretty good. It's well weathered. Looks pretty realistic. Let's disconnect it now. Once again, the hood springs back and the door closes. A slight delay and the Jetway heads back to its proper position. That's fine. That's quite a nice animation. No real problems with that at all. Okay, so that was the Jetway test. Once again, let's get down to the airport proper and have a look and see what we're presented with here in this latest new version of Portland in Oregon. Okay, so here we are at the main tour. We're going to start at the far eastern end of the airport. You've got runway 28 right threshold over there. Here's the Columbia River, and here's the freeway to the east of the airport and the IKEA building. So we're going to go west and just go over this and have a close look and end up towards the airport. Not sure if the IKEA building is part of the scenery, but you see, when you look at this, it's good enough to be believable. So you've even got cars going around a roundabout there. And I mean, this probably, this area here, I think this is probably part of the scenery. It looks too professional, if I can put it that way, to be default, good as it is. But as you can see, it's quite a bit of it. So we move across to the airport here. We're now going airside. There's the highway, it goes landside. So as you can see, the detail is pretty good. There's a little bit of jerkiness, but then I haven't defragged the drive here. At the end of the day, it looks pretty good, to be honest. There's a lot to see here. I can't wait to see this in the darker hours. But it looks pretty impressive. Pretty much everything is modelled in 3D, which is really important as far as I'm concerned. There you can see you've got the various taxiway signs. So now it's getting a little bit more jerky. But as you can see, you've got various bits and pieces here. So there's the terminal. So as we get away from the terminal structure, frame rate does get a bit better. But there's a load of detail here. It's very impressive. So we go out across the runways here. We've got this area here. I mean, they've modelled pretty much everything. It really does look nice. So this looks like a fuel area. As the fire training ground, there's the little aircraft they set fire to once a month. So airside looks pretty impressive. As long as those vehicles are crossing the runway and not going down them, I don't mind. Once again, various hangars and bits and pieces. All of this is on the charts, and as you can see, it's fully modelled. It's really good. Quite a lot for you to see here. So let's head towards the terminal now. This is where I think it gets a little bit, frame rate gets a little bit sort of here and there. So we're coming from one side here. I'm just going to stop for a minute so we can have a look at what's going on. You've got the train track here. So I'm wondering if there is a train. Apparently, according to the features, there's a train, or an animated train, so this should be the track where it is. So there we're looking towards the northeast, and you can see the train track goes all the way around there. So there doesn't seem to be anything coming, so let's go back in towards the terminal area. So quite a lot of detail, which is probably why we're getting this frame rate here. And down there, that looks to be the station. And indeed it is. So here's the inside of the station. I can't see where the tracks would be. So here we are outside looking back towards the train area. I can't see anything running. But as you can see, plenty of detail. It looks really quite impressive. So here we are looking outside landside of the terminal. A joy to see cars and people. Really, really good. There's some nice detail here outside of the terminal, and again you can see inside the terminal. And once again we've got more people stood outside. I mean, this is great. This just gives it a bit of atmosphere. So a quick look inside. There you've got check-in desk for Southwest. And there you've got other ones there for United and bag drops. Lots of people around, can't see much in the way of staff, but beautifully modelled interior of the terminal here. So once again, various people all in the right places. The signage looks good too. And there's our Frontier check-in. So here's the security check, a very novel way of putting the bags through there as well. And there we're looking back across landside into the terminal. So lovely carpeting, and also those I believe are body scanners. I don't think I've seen any in the scenery before, so that's quite novel. So here we are into airside, and there you've got the various gates, travelators and shops, and once again at the other end. So this is interesting. Here's Charlie 10 where my aircraft is parked, but if we pop outside, Charlie 10 is actually there. And the jetway goes down to the aircraft. Now there's the door that opens the jetway. I was looking for the actual entrance door, but there it is. So they modelled it that way. So let's just have a quick look over the stands. As you can see, there's plenty of dirt. And as you can see also, internal development almost everywhere you look, which is a really good feature. And down on the area below as well. But the stands look pretty good, and the apron itself looks pretty impressive, to tell you the truth. And here we can see that the frame rate actually is not bad at all, to be honest. The frame rate is actually not bad at all, to be honest. And even the rooftops look good. You've got the air conditioning units. The Delta stands with their markings on them. It's really impressive. So we're just popping inside from airside. And once again, it's beautifully done. You can't argue the fact it's very nice. So coming out across the taxiway, let's have a look at some of these signs. Once again, they're on plinths, not just jammed into the ground. Blue airfield edge lights there as well. And we have runway guard lights, or wigwags as we call them here in the UK. So there's a 10 left to 8 right sign, Alpha 6 entry point. And there you can see the wigwags operating. So a quick look for inside the aircraft. There you can see you've got the visual docking guidance system here, which will be active when we got a flight plan. And you can see a little bit inside the terminal as well. I think it's going to look a lot better in the darkness hours. There we are looking out the captain's window. And there's a view across the ramp looking out of the first officer's window. So we once again head across this side of the ramp from the north side. We'll head towards the control tower. Big multi-storey car park there. No sign of the train yet. So there's the tower up close from the outside. And as you can see, no internal development. Ah, there's the train. So we've got the train coming down the track here. Now that's interesting. Okay, so it goes down there. So there must be a door or something for people to come out of that building. So yeah, it looks as though we've got doors there on the left and people come out when the train comes. And the train is modelled nicely. Look, you've got an interior that is parallax that makes it look real. Very nice indeed. So there's a high level shot. You can see the train happily on its way, moving out here. This is the south side of the airport here, the huge multi-storey car park, another one there. I'm just looking to see how far the train goes. In fact, there it is, it's still visible. But it looks really impressive. Okay, let's lower it to dusk now and have a look. Okay, 20 to 8 in the evening, local time. It's the 4th of April 2025, the date of this video. Lights came on about 2 minutes ago, so there's the Columbia River in the distance, and here you can see some of the stands on this side that are lit. You've got blue airfield edge lights, and we've also got centerline lights. The green ones help you taxiing around. And the lighting looks pretty good actually. Taxiway line signs look pretty good too. Lovely mountains in the distance, not sure which one that is. Highest mountain I know of in Oregon is Mount Rainier. I wonder if that's Mount Rainier. And then looking towards the southeast, you've got various subtle lighting on other buildings and bits and pieces, which is really quite good. And then looking to the northwest, there's the rest of the ramp area. And it looks alright, you know, it looks fine. So we have the railway track here, going along here, and you've got the cars that go across the crossing. I'm just looking to see if we've got the train coming. Nothing at the moment. Well, as you can see, the lighting's pretty impressive. So here comes the train, and we've got some lighting there too, which is really good. That's very nice, it's a nice animation. So we have a look at some of these buildings here. On the north side there's Atlantic Airways. And here you've got the Sheraton Hotel. Nice modelling here too. And some parallaxing there to make it look pretty real. And as we head out to the taxiways, again all the signage is just as you'd expect it to be. And there we've got WIGWAGS on this runway here too. So there's a view from the flight deck. As I thought, you could see inside the terminal here. Not an awful lot to look at because most of it's happening further up there. And there's a nice view from the captain's window. And a view from the starboard passenger seating area just behind the wing. So just passing airside of the hotels and the Atlantic area, you've got an open hangar there, look to, which could be useful. Getting a little bit of juddering now as we get close to the stands. But I should think if you defrag your drive before you do this and clean up the temporary files, this will be a lot better. So there you can see partially inside the buildings, which looks okay. And we pass over the top. There's the car park below us. And you've got that glass roof there that looks into the terminal, which is a very nice effect. There's my aircraft parked on Charlie 10. And there you've got more hangars with more lighting. It all looks pretty good. And here on the southeast side, again more hangars and some very nice subtle lighting. And you have various vehicle animations, and so far I haven't seen anybody going down the runway, which is good. But it all looks very nice. So we've got a high level shot there looking northeast. There's the Columbia River in front of us, and you can just see what I believe is Mount Rainier out here in the distance. And then looking northwest. I mean, on the whole it was great. It's very nice, very picturesque. Okay, so that was dusk. As you can see, the lighting is very nice, very subtle. Let's take it down to night time now. Okay, 10 PM local time, and the sun is essentially gone now. And here we are looking at the airport central area. Plenty of lighting both on the stands, and you've got this wonderful yellow tungsten glow on what you can see landside here. It all looks pretty good. Here's a view from the flight deck. Not an awful lot of change. Now a view across from the captain's window, and you can see through the glass here into the terminal. And looking through the first officer's window. Okay, so we'll quickly pass over the central area. Down below there you can see the stands and the terminal building. Here's the control tower. I can't see the mandatory, oh yes I can, there we are, red lights on the top. And there's the train to the left. I really wanted to see if this was lit at night, and it is, which is very good. There she goes, lighting inside and outside of the train, which is wonderful. There's the hotels. And this all looks pretty nice, to be honest. There goes our train. So let's cross back to airside and do a tour of the stands. Here we can see we start to get the judders. I strongly recommend defragging your hard drive, or the drive that Flight Simulator is on. But to be honest, this could do with a bit of optimization, I think. I am quite surprised at the amount of judders we're getting here. Probably just needs optimizing. But can't argue with the detail, and to be honest, once you get inside the aircraft, from inside the aircraft, I don't think you'll get the kind of judders we're getting here. So a quick look inside the terminal. As you can see, the lighting's lovely. And this is airside, which just looks really nice. The plants make it really look good too. So here we are looking down the rest of the terminal along the D gates. We're looking west. It's great. It's really very nice. It really does need optimization. The judders are a little bit too much. I think inside the aircraft, when you're taxiing into the stand or taxiing out again, it won't be quite so bad. But this scenery does need some optimization, I think. But other than that, it's great. I can't fault it. It's beautiful. And once again, looking across the stands, there's plenty of light here. You're not going to have any problems getting in and out at night or during dusk. So you've got the green lights that bring you into the apron, which is very well lit. Just a couple of quick shots landside. Here we are looking down the road, and there to the right you've got the train track, and here comes the train. And there we are, she pulls up to the station. And there you can see the way they've done this with photos, high resolution, so it looks good inside. And you can even see the driver in the front there. That's a nice animation, and it's wonderful to see the train nicely detailed and lit up for dusk and night time too. And once again, we're looking at the terminal from landside. We've got the multi-storey car park on the right. We've got this wonderful roof design there. And you've got taxis and cars and people stood outside the terminal. Very nice. There really isn't much to fault here. Okay, so they're not got any check-in staff, and we haven't got any animated people. But you know what? I don't mind. This airport is alive because it has people, even though they're static. And the train is really nice. The other little animations are good as well. You know, it really does look very, very nice. The detail is excellent. Probably the one thing that really needs to be done is this whole project. The scenery needs to be optimized a lot more, because the judders really shouldn't be as bad as they are. But as I said, if you defrag your hard drive and clean up the clutter on your main drive that Flight Simulator is on, I think the stutters should be better. So there's the main highway that goes out of the airport, and as you can see, various hotels and buildings scattered all the way along it, and takes you into town. So there you are, that was night time. Quite a bit to see off of the airport as well, which I will leave you to discover. Let's bring the dawn up now. Okay, 6:55 AM, and now you can see we've got the red glow on the buildings as the main terminal in the airport area down here, and here you've got various hotels and car parks, and very, very nice indeed, really nice. And then we're looking to southeast, there you've got the highway below us. And there's a nice shot with the Columbia River, the sun coming up in the east, and you've got what I think is Mount Rainier here in the distance. Very nice. Okay, 7:40 in the morning, here we are, a little bit just under an hour later, and time to wrap up the review, give you my thoughts. I can't really find anything wrong with this scenery. I mean, it's great. Okay, so there are bits and pieces that aren't quite correct with the runways, but you know, everything you need is fine. They've got the runways pretty much as they should be, more than enough for you to make a safe landing and takeoff from here. The modeling's improved, certainly from version 1. They've certainly improved the modelling, and the detail is so much better. Probably the one little showstopper, if I can describe it that way, is the juddering here in the central area, and it only happens when you get near the terminal. And to be honest, when you're inside your aircraft, even if it's the FENIX or PMDG, when you're taxiing, looking out from the inside, the juddering isn't quite as bad. But the scenery could benefit from some optimization. That's really all I've got to say. There are sceneries much more detailed than this, where you don't have any of these issues. But no, it's would I recommend it? Yeah, I would, especially since at the moment there's currently an upgrade offer for owners of version 1. You get 50% off until the 21st of May, so that's a long time. It's going to be available for some time. So yeah, you know, that would make it a steal. But the price is probably just about right for the amount of work that's gone into this and the detail that's on the airport. Again, lots of things for you to discover off the airport that I haven't touched. I really like the little metro train system. The train is beautifully modelled and highly detailed, especially in the darkness hours, which again makes it, in my opinion, you know, one of the little stars of the scenery. Internal modelling of the terminal looks great. As you know, it doesn't need to be any more than it is. They've got people, which brings it alive. And that's one of the things that now you can put in sceneries without really adding to the frame rate. I've reviewed some products where they've got thousands of people inside large terminals, and it hasn't caused any issues at all, so that's not a problem. So really the only thing with this scenery is to have it optimized. But personally, 50% off if you own version 1 makes it a really good buy. And if you defrag your hard drive and get rid of any temporary files, clean up the drive a little bit that the Flight Simulator's on, this should run a lot better. But lots to see, lots to enjoy about this scenery. Price isn't bad at all, to be honest. It's about right for this kind of quality and the amount of work that's gone in here, because they've done not just the terminal inside the airport, they've done various bits and pieces in the airport surrounds, so it just looks great. A very nice project, I think. So there we are, folks. It's Portland International Airport in Portland in the state of Oregon in the USA. It's Kilo Papa Delta X-Ray, sometimes just known as PDX. It's a payware scenery by iBLUEYONDER, and I've got a feeling it's a collaboration with FLIGHTBEAM. This is version 2.0.1 for the PC version of FlightSim 2020. And as I said, there is a 2024 version available as well that works when you buy this. Download comes in at 1.3 gig and it installs at 3.67 gigs. Really not an issue at all, it's really good. You can get it from Contrail or from SimMarket. Contrail at the moment has the best price, which comes in at €22.50, which equates to about $24.27 US, or £18.80 UK. As ever, the US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax and VAT at 20%, which may vary depending on which country you're in when you make your purchase. It's currently on sale 50% off at the Contrail Shop for owners of version 1 of this scenery until the 21st of May. I like it. I think it's great. It's visually very, very nice, which is what we're after. You know, the simulator now offers us so much opportunity for eye candy, and yeah, I just think it's good. So there we are, folks. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been some use to you. If you feel that I've been any help to you, by all means, if you want, buy me a coffee. It's quite cheap. Links in the description below. I'm a one-man band. Some sceneries I get sent, some I buy because I'll use them anyway. But I've got something like 500 videos up now, and I continue to review products for you, the customer, who wants to spend your hard-earned money and to see whether I can get you the best bang for your buck. So always appreciated if you want to buy me a coffee, and I respond to all comments where I can, both on there and on YouTube as well. So thank you for watching. Thanks for joining me. Look out for the last one this week, which I hope to get available tonight as well, where we're looking at Indianapolis. Yeah, and I'm also starting to showcase a few liveries for aircraft like the FENIX and the PMDG, and probably the Headwind as well, just to give some livery creators from FLIGHTSIM.TO a little bit of publicity, because some of their liveries are stunning. And yeah, there we go. So guys, have a fantastic weekend. This is Lee. I'm wrapping up this review. I'm going to do some flying probably on Sunday, and I will see you on the next review. Take care, and bye for now.